Hey folks, so I'm just going to make a video on this. I would really strongly suggest to stop acting at all ever in life. The reason why I say that is because I was acting in life all the time, and to a point where I even forgot who I was, and I forgot even that I was acting. So I completely lost my ability to be sincere. And I was tricking myself so much that when I thought I was being sincere, I really wasn't being sincere, but I didn't know it. So there was what I call John White, which I'll just go again in this video, is a false self that was really just one big defense mechanism. That was a guarded self that I didn't feel comfortable being. And I would be this, and I would I wasn't sure if that was the real me or not, because it's what I showed the world. Um, and so I wasn't sure if it was the real me or not. I had a suspicion it wasn't. So there was that. And then beneath that was a wild, crazy, outgoing side, which was also acting, which was me trying to make myself more interesting, more fun, more outgoing, more wild, and trying to make myself into a type of person that I would rather be. So you have the guarded side of acting, then you have the would rather be this, so I'm going to try to pretend to be this kind of acting. Um, for me, not for other people, it might be different. It probably definitely will be different. Um, so I would I would try to figure out who I was by acting, and because I studied acting, so but I was shooting myself in the foot by doing this, because um, you can't be yourself when you're acting. Just it's like a contradiction. But like I thought I was a pretty sincere, down to earth person, and to a degree that was true, but I really wasn't being. Um, so yeah, well, I'm just gonna go over some of the reasons why some people act. Sometimes people act by giving people a smile, like a smile of reassurance. Like they want the person that they're talking to feel comfortable, so they'll uh, smile at them. Um, there's also people will act by being cold, and so that they can numb their feelings and kind of just distance themselves from everyone. And I think that's a form of acting, even though it does have a real emotional effect. I feel like it's a form of acting because it's not. I feel like the true self is an emotional self, and when you unlock those emotions, then I think that means you're in line with yourself. But I could be wrong. But that's what I think. There's acting where where a person could uh, act interested in something that somebody's saying when you're really not. It's just a bunch of false responses, because this idea of right and wrong has crept into being. There's a right way to be, there's a wrong way to be, there's a good way to be, there's a bad way to be. So people aren't being themselves, and then you can lose yourself. just stretching. But the reason why I bring this up is because when you find yourself, like I really have truly found myself. Like I know for sure now. I thought I found myself before, but I know for sure now I actually have. Um, it's because when you find yourself, or when I found myself, there's this joy, this peace that is just fills me up, and it's just so peaceful because there's just no falseness. There's just no falseness, and I think I mentioned this before, but it's actually one of the biggest regrets of the elderly when they're dying is that they realized that they were never being themselves in their lifetime. And so yeah, it's important. Um, so what I would just suggest is if you're not sure who you are, you're not sure if you're acting, you're not sure about anything, um, I would look out for a few things. I would look out, is there an ideal self that you want to be, that you're trying to be, when it may not actually be you? It's one thing to look out for. Another thing to look out for is, are you being guarded? Are you trying to keep your emotions safe and manipulating people through expressions and things like that? And, you know, and just the way you're being. Are you trying to be like, I noticed this one is I notice in people. Are you trying to be happy? A lot of people try to act happy when they're not really that happy, or they just act happy. Are you doing that? Do you want people to think you're happy, or do you want to make people feel better because you're being happy? I feel like even if um, this kind of falseness has like good intentions, it really is not good, because who you are, like who you are, will people will love you and respect you just for who you are, I think. Because it's when we're just being ourselves, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's much more beautiful than we can ever contrive a self. So what I would suggest, if you want to like try being yourself, I would suggest just letting go of everything, just completely relaxing. Completely relax. Don't make any false facial expressions. And if you notice that you're smiling and it's false, or you notice that you're trying to brighten your eyes and it's false, or you're trying to do something and it's false, just notice it and try to be sincere. Try to be sincere, even if you may find it boring, even if you may think, like, I know that was one of the big problems with me, is I've always found myself to be pretty boring, and I still kind of think that I can be boring. I do, but I'm okay with that now, because I realize that having joy and peace and love in my heart, no matter who thinks I'm boring or not, like, that is so much better feeling. It's so much better feeling to be sincere, like just inside, than no matter who's entertained or not. So I mean, if you're afraid that you might be boring, just be boring, and just be okay with it. It took me a long time to be okay with the fact that I might be boring to a lot of people, or to some people. But it's okay. It's worth it. It's worth it to be anything, any negative qualities that you might perceive in yourself, in your true self. I would say it's worth it to be them, because uh, it just feels so much better. So just relax. Just don't fake anything. Don't try to feel anything. Just relax completely and just look at yourself. You can question, like, who am I? Like, what is this? Or is this me? Or just be like totally true. I don't know, try it. And yeah, if you want to. Obviously, you don't have to listen to me. Okay, see ya.